Hi, my name is Venus Rodriguez, and tonight I'm here to share a story. Many years ago, before I was a Christian, I made a choice that would affect my life. It came with shame, with guilt, with hurt, with depression, with disappointment. I didn't have anybody to talk to. I find myself at the age of 20 pregnant and not knowing what to do. I had a child already who was a year old and in a relationship with his father who was not, he just wasn't a father. And at the time in my life, I could hear the voice of the enemy, which I didn't know was the voice of the enemy, telling me that if I had this child, I would not be able to afford this child. Nobody would love me who would take in a single mom with 2 kids. So I called up Planned Parenthood, and I asked them that I was in a situation and I didn't know what to do. So then they gave me a number to a local abortion clinic, which I didn't want to have it locally. So then they sent me over to one over on the other side of the mountains, the Seattle area. Here I was alone and afraid. I knew it was wrong. I knew that having an abortion was wrong, but in that time of my life, I felt that was the only thing I could do. I went in scared into the clinic. The clinics there are very trained to tell a young woman who is in a desperate situation, not knowing, can't even think straight, what to say. And so they told me everything was okay. God wasn't going to punish me and I wasn't going to go to hell, and that everything was going to be okay because it was not a baby inside of me. All it was a blob of tissue. And so I believed them, and there I laid on the bed, afraid, crying out. I didn't even have a relationship with the Lord, and I cried out for the Lord for forgiveness. I cried out to Him there as the doctor began doing what he had to do, and from that moment I walked out of that abortion clinic. The spirit of fear and depression and anxiety and shame and all those spirits that come with doing something like that followed me. It was hard to carry throughout my life, and knowing this, I went ahead and did it again probably a year and a half later, because the same thing, the enemy lied to me and I listened. When I became a Christian, I was an open book. I loved to testify about what the Lord had freed me from, what He healed me from, what He redeemed me from. But this was one secret that I was going to keep, because I didn't think that I didn't think anybody could accept it or handle it or could even love me, because I didn't love myself for what I had did in my heart, in my mind. But when you surrender and allow God to heal you from that broken place, from that dark secret, there is freedom. I'm here to tell you that if you're thinking about having an abortion, I ask you, it's not a blob of tissue, but a child that is a precious gift from God and is worth giving the chance to live and to breathe. And the Word of God says that God knows your child before the foundation of this world, and your child has been predestined. So I ask that you would give your child a chance, that you would go talk to somebody, call Life Options, whatever Christ-centered place that you can go to that will speak to you, speak life into you. And for those of you who've had an abortion and have dealt with the things that I've mentioned, there is freedom, there is hope, there's redemption, there's love, there's grace, there's mercy and loving kindness waiting for you. I ask that you ladies would not allow the enemy to no longer have that hold on you, and that someday you can give your testimony to someone